Hey there, Leo. This is Joy with Joy of the World, here to take an intuitive peek into the energies going on around you. Friends and subscribers, welcome back. And if you're new to this channel, be sure to click the subscribe button and ring the bell. They'll notify you anytime I post new videos. Also, if you find you like the content we provide here at Joy to the World, be sure to give us a big thumbs up, like, and share. And for those of you friends here at Joy of the World channel that have sent in donations, it is greatly appreciated. Thank you. So, Leo, we have a few cards already out, and it is obvious you're wanting to get in some warm, loving energies. We're going to take a dive in to see what's going on here, though. I'm going to go ahead and get a crowning energy. Okay. The crowning energy wanted to get us, didn't it? So, let's see. Fat with dew. Where is that going to go? Over here. And all things are possible. Believe. You are a genius. I'm going to get one more of the energy oracle. What's going on here for Leo? What's opening up this spread? Bringing in this loving feeling. Two. There it is. There it is. Okay. Let's pop that over here. So we've got number 29, the world, and 34, the door to personal healing and happiness. It's almost like two perspectives going on here. God, wow, okay. Return to yourself. It's kind of like here you are in this foreign land looking back in, and you're looking towards your world, and this is what you're seeing. You're looking in through this window at yourself. And then you, the person, is here looking out as well. So facing yourself, the mirror, getting in with the mirror, getting in with the mirror. What are we getting in with the mirror here for Leo? Okay, we're going to go through this door, this channel first. We've got Plum, overcome your challenges, number 41. As you can see, this card has a crimp in it. It's the only card that's been hurt in the whole deck. That, to me, is almost more of what has been sticking out about it than the color itself. So Plum, that would be more like a bruise, like a deep challenge. That there's still essence, vapor. That comes in with like words that are spoken linger in the air. You've probably heard the phrase, if walls can talk. So there's just still some of that essence, maybe clearing your space, clearing your mind. I know a lot of people use smoke. You could do that if that's your preferred method. My preferred method is ringing a bell. You know that saying, clear as a bell. So to me, bells clear quickly and precisely. They're like a all-purpose filter. They purify everything. And that it's like a fresh, clean slate, a fresh new start. That like a friend the other day had mentioned on Facebook that she had dumped a lot of people's, unfriended a lot of people because they have multiple accounts with Facebook. And she said, if you know who you are and you know that we're friends, go ahead and send me another friend request. Well, that was a unique way to do it. She just noticed that it had gotten all clogged and cluttered up. So you've been kind of cluttered up here. And ringing that bell is going to clear it out and give you that blank, fresh slate. So what is up above this card is the sun. Getting back to who you are. It's almost like, not, we could say cutting all the ties, you sort of are, with friends and family and that type of thing, but you're really not. It's not like you're going, never want to be with y'all again, never want to be around you again. It's just like, hey, just taking a little vacay for a minute, just taking a moment to regroup, to recollect, to come back together and find out what it is about life and about all this that makes me happy, that is for my well-being. So you're taking a step back. Thank you for clarifying that, Leo. Taking a step back because you want to come into this trueness of love is what you're saying. It's building this divine tower for yourself, and not the tower that's going to come crashing down or fall. It's like a love elevator is what I'm seeing. Can y'all see that? You're wanting to elevate your love. I love it. And it's like a pedestal. If any of you've seen, what is that? Despicable Me, Gru. And at the end, he gets on that pedestal and it just straight up into the air. Like you elevating your platform, Leo. That's interesting. So I'm wanting to get another tarot. Give me on the sun. Okay. So oh gosh, I love it. We have the Nine of Cups and the Six of Discs. You're getting everything you could dream of here. But that's the thing. It's not like, well, do this and then you'll have that. It's like all your receptors, all that smoke, all that fanfare was in the way, and it was clogging you, blocking you, causing your eyes to sting. And you're just wanting that fresh air. And you are that breath of fresh air. Let's look at them one at a time. There's the Nine of Cups. Now I love this because it's like boss energy. It's got the Emperor. It's got the High Priestess. It's got a bit of Chariot coming in. It's otherworldly. It's being in divine connection with the cosmos, which is the light beyond the dark. And it's about restoring your the human aspect of yourself. Okay, bringing back the meaning in your life. You're wanting to go beyond the purpose. We had taken humanity and boiled it down to purpose, to possessions, to schedules, to achievements, that type of thing. And you're wanting to call in the meaning. You're going on like a journey in your mind. And it's unfurling. It's taking you in, kind of like Jack and the Beanstalk, right? Those magic beans. You're seeing where it takes you and where it leads you, beyond the smoke, beyond the dust, beyond the clouds. And you got, your fate is involved in this. You're staking a claim in this, but you don't know exactly where to put your mark yet. What territory it's in, whether you're moving, whether it's changing jobs, whether it's changing positions. There's a significant shift going on here. And for some of you, it's just going away like a vacay, right, and returning home. It's being able to take that one perspective and the other perspective coming back. Like your excitement level changes when you're heading out on the journey versus what it looks and feels like when you're on the way home. Does that make sense? Okay, and coming in along with is the Six of Discs. There's peace coming in, that's obvious, and it's beginning to grow and command, and not like tell you what to do. Its presence is very, very settling, very demonstrative, and that doesn't mean acting out. Just the presence alone. Imagine like somebody with a big bodyguard, right? Just the presence alone of the bodyguard steers away the majority of interference, correct? Especially of anything that could be like mischief or that type of trouble. So you're able to, you're telling me, unsolve this mystery. What is that about? Okay, so some of that smoke and mirrors, right? Some of that delusion that had you impoverished is what you're showing me here. Sorry, y'all, sometimes to turn these languages into human is a bit of a challenge. So you were impoverished because of it. You didn't realize you could have anything you wish for, anything you desire, that this world is of your crafting and your creating, and it's coming in now and throughout the fall, into the early winter, and will keep through the winter. I like it because they're pears, juicy, ripe, heavy. Also the honey's in the background. And it's not like mountains. You just have little hills and dells, little jaunts of enjoyment is what you're saying here, but it's occurring in 3 layers. That's 3 steps that are going on, and 3 steps of peace. As your peace amps up, so does your procession into this new beingness of uncovering the delusion, unmasking itself, of warming up to your own embrace, falling in love with yourself, that's for sure. And yes, so this can be about loving others, but first, you can only love others as much as you love yourself. So is it one or the other? Is it the chicken or the egg? It's both, okay? The chicken and the egg are inseparable. The life cycle of the butterfly is in the butterfly. All the components are there, all right? So you're wanting to go into this to be able to activate this new form of life that you're bringing about here. Beautiful cards. I love the piece that's coming in for you. And that piece accompanying it, this piece is that dominant piece. It is dominion piece because it has ample authority to go with it. And it's otherworldly. It's from creatures beyond this world. It's insurmountable, which means it's yours and yours alone. I mean, they're kind of like having no natural predator. Do you see what I mean? There's nothing that's going to come in and take you off of it. Just like often they talk about be the lion, be the king of the mountain, and we push and pull on each other to try and get to the top of that peak. Well, there is no competition, okay? That's why it's insurmountable. There is no known predator to take away your peace. It passes all understanding. So you're going beyond understanding into that realm. That's why you were speaking first. This is what is there. So there's like this beanstalk, but it's really a staircase unfurling through your mind, through the realms of time, and bringing this into your current consciousness. Okay? So next we have Rose coming in. Number 6, attract a relationship. So now that you've established this divine boss-ass connection with yourself, looking so fine like that, awakening prosperity, dismissing the delusion of you being any less than what you exactly are, like you're getting in the pure perfection and balance of you, you're inviting in the cycles of life, not like Wheel of Fortune type cycle, but the goings on of life, the connections, the like returning to connections, coming back home, this type of thing. So restoring connection to others with this new perspective that you have, and being able to see with clarity the contrast of how the experience of those connections and relationships are now versus when you had stepped away from them, and thus being able to have the clarity, that kind of judgment, okay, the assessment of the role that they should play in your life from here on out, whether it's a bye-bye or whether it's come on down, okay? So, because this is what's central, your healing and happiness, this healthy world, this world of being open and closed at the same time, of respect, okay? Up above that, we have the 8 of Wind, the Power Shield. Now, this is from Tarot, the Spirit. I love this deck. It's incredibly demonstrative. And the thing is, it's not going to be an uproar that bothers you in the least. You're going to feel confirmed in standing your ground of your knowing and not feeling like you have to explain yourself. You'll be a man of few words, a woman of few words in this, is that you're kind of saying full steam ahead, more power to you, that type of thing. That you're not going to keep traversing the relationships that the spans between is laced with landmines. That's what you're showing me, okay? That if the other person has trust issues or things like that, you're not going to spend your time navigating it anymore, because then you end up hurt. And it doesn't mean you don't have love for that person. It just means you're not going to do the work of trying to figure out where they put those landmines. That's up to them to find it. And you're not going to get yourself blown to bits anymore over it. You're like, you're extracting yourself from that energy. I mean, that's what this is up at the top. That's your extraction point. That's your extraction point. And your whole hand with it, your definition you're saying is, that's up to you. That's up to you. You know how you see it. You're aware now that you've had this little break. It's kind of like when people do an allergy cleanse on foods. They have to take some of the most allergenic, offensive foods out of their diet, and then they slowly introduce them one at a time, singularly, to begin to see, do any of those old symptoms return, so that they can identify what it's coming from. And then they either slowly work them back to desensitize themselves, or they do away with it altogether, right? If they don't want to live with that allergic or inflammatory response going on, or in this case, being blowed up. I know it's blown, but y'all, I gotta go with the flow of your energy being blowed up. You're like, no more. No more living in a block of ice. No more having that stagnance, that energy going, because I'm ready to radiate. I am the sun. I am here to shine. I am solar. I am warm. I am friendly. I am funny. I am inviting. I love to connect, and that's what you're about. So that's what you're putting your energy to. It's brilliant how you've condensed this down and made it so simple and basic and pure. Okay, so next we have mauve. Enjoy clear hearing, 43. And I love it because I hear Pebbles and Bam Bam singing, let the sun shine in, face it with a grin. That's how they sing it. Sorry, y'all. I think it says, winners never lose and losers never win. So you're off the fence in your life. You're off the fence, and that's why you're like, it's fine. If you think I'm being offensive, that's actually not me. I've checked myself. I've cleared myself. I've cleared my heart. I'm aware of who I am and where I'm coming from, but I'm off the fence. I'm not offense. I'm not defense. I'm not playing games anymore. I don't have time for that. I'm here to live life and to live it to my full and to walk it out in this peace, to enjoy the beautiful hills and dells that are rolling out there, full of abundance, dripping with the sweet honey nectar of life, with the authority and permission I have to live in clarity and truth, not having to stay in this diluted mind state anymore, not having to walk through the smoke and mirrors anymore, trying to figure this out. That's too consumptive of my time. You're telling me my riches are too precious to be squandered thusly. Okay. So you're saying it more as being rich and being wealthy is being a wise investor of how you're putting forth you, your energy, your time, your presence, and what you're, well, it's saying willing to tolerate, but you mean that, but not that, because you're not willing to tolerate anymore. It's like those foods. You're like, if it's offensive, if it's causing inflammatory responses, then it just needs to go. I can have love and I can have separation. Okay? So up above the mauve, Pebbles and Bam Bam, telling you to let the sun shine in, comes Brother Earth. And that's exactly what's happening. The sun here is your rear guard. It is being surrounded by truth and life. We can often say light, but life. Not all light brings forth life, okay? So it's bringing forth this life, this regeneration of yourself. Like, this is very much a resurrection card to me. It's coming forth in like the trumpet of truth, kind of like the judgment card, a resurrection power, that type of a thing. And it's showing in your determination as well to live your truth, live from your heart, and live in your will, because you wish all to be well. But you've come to know a relationship, an individual is only one part of the relationship. Like, to me, a relationship is a two-lane road. It's a two-way street. So you're responsible for one lane. The other person is responsible for the other lane and how y'all meet up. You can't decide for anybody else. You can't control anybody else. You can't coerce anybody else. And you're like, and I'm not gonna. So I love that determination that you have now, Leo. That's fantastic. So let's do a little catch up here. We're going to get some clarity cards on the mauve, on the letting the sun shine in, the Pebbles and Bam Bam. I love it because they're coming out in pairs, just like here. Remember the chicken and the egg, the acorn and the oak. You're like, well, is this a love or is this my love for myself? And I'm like, yeah. And it's showing because they're coming out in pairs, right? The Trinity is how we do it first, getting on the page with our divine self, looking and moving all the way through it from all the perspectives to make sure that it is strong and true. And now getting the clarifiers on it. Oh, okay, so we have the Hermit and the Moon. It's the Hermit. You're passing the torch. You're passing the torch, and you're passing it on to your star. This is the star, right? So you're passing it onto your star. It's like, so these are portable lanterns, right? And we know when you're home, they have a place on the wall. That's where they belong. And that's so that they can give light to the entire room. And that's what you're doing. You're replacing your lantern. You're giving it unto the star. You've had all the cleansing and clarity that you need, and you have it. So you've moved through the layers of time. You could talk about like Metatron, but it's also these cycles, these spirals, these like laws of nature, kind of like Fibonacci sequences. Okay, so you've moved through these sequences and you're understanding how it operates and how it works and how it goes. So you don't need to be tied up with carrying that anymore or being in the shroud. Okay? You've been fully transformed on the inside, and now you're ready to transform your external world. So it's giving a finger a point back to reiterating this rose energy. And that had to do with the people around you, but now it's also your environment as well. So giving into the star, you now have the moon coming along. Now this is a pretty dynamic moon. Take a look here. You're telling me you now possess your mind. You're in control of your mind. Your mind had floundered about and had fallen under control of other energies, as we know here, right? And that's what the sun is shining into. It's shining into those areas, because we need to be reminded that sun is UV. It is a purifier. That's how they UV filter water and UV purify a room, right? Letting the sunshine in has purified these thoughts, because the moon is the reflector. It's the ashes and the dust and the particles. They've settled down and compressed themselves, like you were telling me here, that compression, that contraction, bringing it into the ball of the moon, being of one mind, one heart, one body, one soul, being on the same page with yourself in the Trinity is what you're showing me here, is aligning you with all of your energies, giving you access to all realms. Like there's no more division amongst yourself, from the unconscious to the subconscious to the conscious mind. And that's kind of what this guy, he's like, told you. I love it. He's a man of few words, but so dynamic. It's totally, when you look into the eyes, you just know it all from in there. And here, you're taking that higher perspective, because the moon is so close. The sun is so far away, because any closer and we would get literally toast, right? We'd be toasted. But up here, you got your sun, right, shining down here. And the moon is reflecting, giving that feedback straight directly into your earth. So you have the bit of a higher perspective, being able to look down at how to spell out the steps of navigating this walk of life. What walk of life? This one, the world. Because you're now saying, take it on the world, take it on the world. Because you're like, if I can do all this, now I'm free, I'm ready, I'm positioned to take on the world. I'm bold, I'm confirmed, I'm confident. I feel like I can do this. And not like you're saying it, I feel I can do this. Okay? So they're reminding me to take a look up here, the fat with dew. You see that? And that is the Trinity energy, but it's laying down on its side. So it's almost like, well, okay, so I'm just going to tell you to say get ready for a downpour. Because the thing is you look here, this is a straw, where often you're drinking it up. Like plants, the dew falls from heaven, it lands on the plants, and the plants just absorb it and soak it up. Just like we do it through a straw, a little bit at a time, a sip at a time, right? But it's coming in this way, and so they're telling me it's a deluge. It's this coming down like this inundation of just get ready. Here comes the world. Leo's going to be like, and, okay, so I don't know if you do, but I love sports. And a lot of times after, especially football games, because they're out on the field, right, they'll get the big Gatorade dispenser or the water cooler, and they'll find their coach when he's being congratulated for having won the game, and they dump it on his head. It's like that. It's a finite amount, but it comes like that for that particular victory, right? And they say, get ready, it's coming, and it is going to wake you up. It's going to perk your circulation. It's going to get your heart beating and your motor not running. They saying roaring. And so more than just purring, baby, it's going to roar, which means, you know, like when you're in neutral and you press the gas, vroom, 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 you're at the red light and you're getting ready, you're getting revved up to go. Okay, Leo. So let's dip back into this rose, because apparently you took us through because you had to deal with the relationships that you were coming back to. Now you've woven us into the world, and this is new relationships that are coming in your new relationship to the world as you've moved past all the drama and the disarray, and just they're going the little passage of time. Those couple little months, okay? So let's see about the rose relationship you're attracting in now, Leo. Thank you. Do we want one more? We're going to leave it like that. Okay. So we got the King of Discs. Talk about putting it all out there. Nothing hidden. No hidden agenda. Totally enjoying the fruits of your new world, your healthy whole life. See, right back here, those are the hills and dells. I know it's not a dale, it's D-E-L-L, but the hills and dells rolling. There's an apple tree and there's a pear tree, and here you are imbibing in that fruit, sitting under your own tree, letting me know you've gone all the way through, all the way in. You've gone through these 3 layers, these passages, okay, and they said a few months. So that's indicating about 3 months here, which is a season, right? And sometimes we hear season and we're like, oh, that's kind of like ambiguous, but no, 3 months, a season, okay? And here you are just all out, and what you're showing me here is like fully satisfied. It's not a stuffed kind of full belly. I mean, it is satisfied, absolutely relaxed, at ease. You hunger and thirst for nothing. Look at all this authority that you're crowned with. Look at all this magic surrounding you here, Leo. It's fantastic. And what I love about it being a fawn is it kind of like Centaur has 4 legs. Here, you are swift for a human. You're able to move quickly to the things that you like, but differently than a horse, having the goat, the lower half of a goat, you're able to mount up to high heights. Remember, we said there weren't mountains in this, meaning no adversity or things to overcome, all right? Because this was about overcoming challenges. It was about getting into that place of ease and of respite and of enjoying all that you've inherited and brought into this lifetime. Where here, yes, you're being satisfied in that, and you're like, well, what if I want to chase down a little challenge? Aren't we built for that? Isn't that what makes the blood pump in our veins? I want to know that there's more to life, that there's more beyond this. And that's what it's signifying, is it's easy for you. You can traverse all of your desires. All as my son would say, all and that brings us to the final. All things are possible, believe, genius. I love it. That filament is lit up. You were lit up from the inside. I mean, I love it because here it's shining down on you, right? That ascension elevator going on. And then here it is shining behind you, okay? And shining on the path before you. But now you're letting us know this satisfaction causes it to shine within you. I like going on that spiral journey with you, Leo. My mind's still like, you know, if you've been on the ocean, when you try and lay down that night, you kind of still feel the waves moving through your body. I still feel the swirls and the spirals going on of traveling this journey with you guys. So sometimes if you're wondering, what is that look on her face and why is she just sitting there? I'm telling you, it's something to come out of this, because all of a sudden, the ride is stopped and you're like, okay, Joy, we're done. And I'm like, I don't know if I can walk yet. Hang on just a second. I'm feeling a lot like this. I can tell you. Look at that. I'm right there with you, baby. Let's do it. Let's do this thing. Let's shine. Let's radiate. Let's be fulfilled and satisfied. Let's live this joyous life. Be bold, be bright, be beautiful, and be totally who you are. We celebrate you and your place in our world here and all that you contribute and you share with us through your divine light. I love you, Leo. We'll talk soon. Bye now.